Hello, welcome to the Signals of the Lighthouse. I'm AJ and I'm here to talk to you about the fact that I lost 198 pounds. Now, before I actually start with the magic tools that I used to get me there, I'm going to talk to you first about the journey that got me to the state of being 198 pounds. To be precise, 25 stone in weight. I was a size 32. Now, it started with my mother when I was 10 years of age, who took me to the doctors and said to the doctor, my daughter's fat. And the doctor weighed me, measured me, and he said, no, she's pretty normal. However, if you're worried or concerned, then don't feed her cakes or biscuits, keep them away. So every mealtime, they would sit with a piece of cake or a cream scone, and I would be left with an orange. My sister could come home and eat biscuits out of the biscuit tin. I wasn't allowed them. I was only allowed a piece of fruit. And I rapidly became a secret eater. I would eat to, just because my sister had all these lovely foods, why can't I? So I would secretly eat. And then my mother would say things like, when I was at a party, I would literally scoff everything that was sweet in my pathway. And it would, oh, look at that fat pig of a daughter of mine eating again. And it was like, And I mean, some of you are probably sitting here going, oh my God, it's just so dreadful. Poor you, how disgusting, blah, blah, blah. But my mother did, to be fair, when my dad was sort of teased that he was eating this cream scone, oh God, this tastes delicious, would, clip him across the ear and say, don't tease her. But what you got to remember about my parents' generation is they didn't know any better. They didn't know that what they were doing was wrong. They hadn't got a clue, okay? So we need to remember this when we look at our parents and we want to sort of cast that thing of blame. I'm the way that I am because of my parents. Well, no, what your parents did was probably wrong, but the way you behave today is down to you. It's your decision, your choice. You can choose to live in this negativity because their being negative was their issues, their problems. It wasn't you. It wasn't that you were not good enough or you weren't. It was them. They weren't good enough and they projected that onto you. And we have to remember this. So I then also underwent a horrific attack when I was 15 years of age. And this did not help. And so I secretly began to eat neat. And eventually, when I was about 30 years of age, I was this big, huge, grotesque person. I mean, massive. And hated myself as a result of it, obviously. But I did take pride in myself in the sense that I was always dressed immaculately. So my earrings and my necklace and my clothes would all be color coordinated, would always match, okay? I never dressed in the typical long baggy t-shirt and the leggings and trying to hide it scenario. I always dressed in the best possible clothes I could for my size and made sure that the jewelry and everything else, my makeup, I mean, hello, I'm talking to you today with no makeup on and my hair's scrunched back, needs highlighting, oh God, this would never have happened in the day of me being overweight. My hair would have been immaculate, my makeup would have been on, the jewelry would have been perfect, the clothes would have been matching, just to deflect from the fact that I was overweight. And I remember going to somebody in a makeup counter and she said she was overweight. And she said, isn't it interesting? Us overweight girls always made sure we've got our faces and our lipstick on. And I went, oh God, yes. It's like you're looking at this. This is it. Ignore the rest, but just see this, And anyway, I never liked myself. I just absolutely hated myself. And in the end, what changed me, because I was on a vicious circle. So I would go on this sort of losing weight diet scenario and then put it back on plus some, okay, because diets don't work. They just don't work. And the industry is forever feeding us that they do. And the reason why the industry feeds us that they do is because they know that we will lose it and we will put it back on and we'll put some more back on and then we'll be back to them again for more of this. And so it's a beautiful industry and it makes our CEOs of these companies very, very rich. That's all you're doing when you're on a diet. You're making somebody else in the industry rich. You're not making yourself richer. You're not making yourself slimmer, okay? You're making somebody else richer, okay? So diets don't work. So then, here I am, this great, grotesque, huge person. and I'm on this vicious circle. And I thought to myself, I need to get off this. How do I do it? And I also wanted to have a baby. And I went to see the doctor, and the doctor said to me, you have polycystic ovaries. And I'm not sure if the weight caused the polycystic ovaries or the polycystic ovaries caused the weight. And until you lose the weight, we are not going to know. So I spoke to a friend of mine who had a girlfriend who'd had a gastric bypass. And she said, AJ, why don't you go and have that done? And I spoke to the girl, and I was pretty anti it, if I'm honest, at the beginning. And she said, AJ, I'd lost weight twice. I'd lost 10 stone twice and put it back on, plus some. And this way, it was a permanent move, and that's why I had it done. So I thought, okay, this is the answer to my prayers. And I paid the 10,000 euros, or sorry, pounds, and I went and had the surgery. But it wasn't that easy. It really wasn't that easy. I was in intensive care. I almost died. It was serious, okay? And it's not like they do it through bypass now. It was cut the stomach open it up, kind of staple everything. It was massive. Now, the other girls that were in the ward that had the operation the same time as me, all within 9 months lost all of their weight, and they looked fabulous, okay? Some of them were having extra boob jobs to lift their boobs up, or extra skin off their arms, maybe a tummy tuck, but basically they looked immaculate. In clothes, they looked immaculate. And 9 months later, no, I've lost 40 pounds, nothing more. 198 to lose, and I've only lost 40, and I've stopped. Turned out the band, besides having my stomach stapled, they put a band around the pipe going down, had expanded. And I now had a hernia. So we had to go back in, they repaired the hernia, they tightened the band. This happened 3 times. 3 times my band literally expanded, and I wasn't losing the weight. And I was like, I don't believe this. I've paid all of this money. Why does it always happen to me? Have you noticed that? You say that to yourself, why does it always happen to me? It doesn't happen to anybody else. It only ever happens to me. And you start this cycle, this vicious circle. And there I was, yet again. It's only happening to me. What have I done to deserve this? Why is it me, nobody else? It's not fair. The world's not fair. And then I sat down and I thought, okay, you want this baby. You've put yourself through major surgery, and they can only guarantee 40% weight loss. Maybe the universe is trying to tell you something. Maybe the universe is saying, actually, AJ, the only person that can fix you is you. Nobody else can fix you. And that's when I started my journey. I started changing the way I thought. So my first path was manifestation. I saw myself, because I'm tall and broad, as a Zeta-Jones, Catherine Zeta-Jones, okay? So I would picture, first of all, cut the picture out, cut my photo of me out, stuck the picture on her body, and focused on that. Then I would stand in a mirror, and I would look at the mirror, and I would see the body of Catherine Zeta-Jones with my head on it. And I started to do that. And then I started thinking, okay, that's good. Manifestation's really good. Let's start talking in positive. Not, I can't. It's not fair. It's not my fault. The reason I'm there, stop all of that and start thinking, I am love. I am beauty. I am slim. I am slender. I am amazing. I am awesome. Start talking to yourself like this. Start changing your thought patterns. So every time I thought to myself, oh, I'm so fat, I'm just so fat, I'm just so fat, I would say, I am so slim. Not only am I slim, I feel slim. I am slim, I feel slim. Oh, gosh, don't I feel amazing? Isn't this wonderful? And I'd start changing my thought patterns. And then I decided that maybe I should look at what I'm eating, because at the end of the day, this has to play a role too. And it's not about looking after your mind and the way you speak. It is about looking after your physical being as well as your mental being. So I looked at the pyramid. The government issues a pyramid of what we should eat, okay? And I thought, it's not rocket science, okay? I know full well, if I'm gonna eat 5 bars of chocolate a day, then guess what? The weight's not gonna go, okay? Now, I need to eat more vegetables. I need to eat more protein. Okay, so then I started looking at the triangle and incorporating healthy eating. And I also changed over to organic eating. I also decided to do a couple of days a week, literally vegetarian, okay? Because I felt this was healthier for us too, and also healthiest for the environment. But those are personal choices. I then looked at, let's exercise. Now, going into a gym when you are 140 pounds overweight, because by now, remember, I've lost the 40-odd pounds, is not easy. Okay, you're honestly thinking everyone's staring at you, everyone's looking at you. Oh my God, no, they're too busy posing in the mirror about themselves to be looking at you. Trust me, okay? All right? And if they do look at you, they're going, God, she's got some guts. She's got some guts. I admire that spirit in her, okay? So those are the only two thoughts they're thinking in there. They're not thinking of anything else, I can promise you. All right? They're not sitting there going, oh, look at that fat cow working out. They're not thinking that. I can tell you that right now. Okay, so I started doing my exercise, and when I finally gathered up more momentum in my exercise, I found I could breathe better and I could do more. So I started off with manifestation. I was looking at the new me in the mirror. Then I started looking at the way I speak to myself, okay, and how I talk about myself and how my minds were. Then I looked at getting into the gym, okay, and working out. Then I looked at what I was eating, all right, and making sure there were sensible choices, organic choices. I fed my body healthy food. Why? Because I deserved it. And that's the key. I deserve not only to be slim, but to be healthy. I deserve to be slim, slender, toned, and healthy. And you cannot be healthy if you're eating chocolate bars every single day of the week. Sorry guys, but it ain't gonna happen. So now, this is what I choose to do. I choose to think and speak kindly to myself. I manifest the dream body that I want. And I put the work in, because you do need to put the work in. And I put the work in by going to the gym and by eating sensibly. And that's basically how I lost my 138 pounds. Manifestation, guys. Speak kindly, think kindly, and put the work in. This is AJ. And before I sign off, do me a favor, like, press the share button, and do comment. I would really like to speak to you and hear about how your journey's going on your weight loss. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.